Welcome back to the channel. We're live here at KUMASI. Today, early on this morning, we had the unveiling of Black Stars head coach Chris HUGHTON, who promised a lot. Well, he didn't promise a lot, but he inspired all of us. A lot of confidence has been built in the team now after listening to Chris HUGHTON at his unveiling as the SG Mall. Some key points he made were that he would not promise trophies, but he would promise a strong team. He also talked about the position that KUDUS Mohammed plays in. He talked about the fact that people think Thomas PARTEY does not do well, and he will not judge PARTEY based on what the fans judge him in. A player playing in Team A, most of the fans expect him to perform as he does it for Team B. It is not always going to be the case. So he feels that Thomas PARTEY is a good player, but probably not doing it in the way a lot of people see him doing week in, week out. He spoke extensively. He talked about his contract as well. And today, right after the unveiling, he jetted off to Accra. Yes, 8 players have reported in camp for the Ghana Black Stars. They took part in the very first training session in Accra. Now, the itinerary has been clearly stated by Harry Asantichum. We'll talk about the key points on the unveiling. Listen to what he had to say about KUDUS Mohammed and Thomas PARTEY and Richard OLELE Kingston at the end of today's video. And then we will look at the players that's trained in Accra today. Subscribe if you have not. Click on the notification bell to get more updates. So, Coach Chris HUGHTON has been officially unveiled. He will be the head coach of the Ghana Black Stars for 21 months. Well, some are saying it's a back-dated contract that he has signed. The contract will last until 2024 December, which gets me thinking. 2024 December is a date when the incumbent government would be out of office. Does that mean that it is the incumbent government's appointment, hence his contract will expire only after they have left office? Well, so it looks like it's looking more and more like a government appointment of sorts. And in those 2 years or 21 months that Chris HUGHTON has been giving, there's only one major tournament, and we'll be in the process of possibly World Cup qualifiers. What happens then? Will someone else take over at the helm? Will then incoming government renew his contract? Will the FA go in for someone they prefer to Chris HUGHTON? Well, so many questions need to be answered on that, and I think in the due course of time, we'll get responses on that. But Chris HUGHTON looks upbeat. He looks ready for the job. He has stated it clearly that he is happy to be here, to be in the position as the head coach of the Ghana Black Stars, and he's ready to get going. He said he will not promise trophies, but he'll promise a strong team. He talked about KUDUS Mohammed as well, which we'll have a listen to at the end of today's video, explaining how many people think KUDUS Mohammed should be playing and how he feels he also should be playing. Talked about the technical team. There will be no changes to the technical team, as Henry Asantichum stated today. The technical team will be maintained, and it will still have Richard OLELE Kingston in there as we prepare for the games on Thursday. OLELE Kingston has had his post maintained. Nothing has been changed. Harry Asantichum has confirmed that. But today, 8 players were in Accra to train. And those 8 players were Andre Ayew, who has come already in town, Joseph Paint, so Enyake Williams also is in town, Jojo Walcott, Daniel Amate, Ransford, Yeboah Konesdorfer, Antoine Semenyo, and Joseph Adu trained today at the Accra Sports Stadium. HUGHTON was in attendance. Clearly, the man is on the move a lot. I hope he's not stressed out even before Thursday. It's going to be a tough week ahead. He has been moving up and down. I was here on Sunday, went back to Accra. I was on the same flight with him back to KUMASI for the unveiling. The man is moving around a lot, and we hope he does get some rest before the main event starts on Thursday. The itinerary is as follows. Tomorrow, the players will arrive at 1 p.m. GMT. Before they will also have a training session here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, and then go on to prepare for the pre-match press conference and the final training session on Wednesday, and match day will be on Thursday. HUGHTON talked about the fact that club football differs from international football in the terms of having very little time to train with players, and this is exactly an example of that. Today will be sort of a recovery training session. Tomorrow will be the main training session. Probably Wednesday they'll have to finish things up, and it's not magic for him to instill some of the things he wants the players to do into him in this short period of time. But we hope for the best. We hope that probably he was able to get some things across to them during the World Cup, so they will be able to work on that and build on that as well. We'll have a listen to what he had to say concerning KUDUS Mohammed, Thomas Partey, and also the technical team there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments box, your predictions for the game, and questions you might have for Chris Hughton in the pre-match press conference. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good evening here from the KUMASI Sports Stadium. Bye-bye. Enjoy your evening.
But I think firstly, I am here as the new head coach, and what you are saying about Thomas is something that you are thinking. Your thoughts are very much what's happened before. But I can give you my comments on Thomas. I think he's a wonderful player, a wonderful footballer that's playing in an Arsenal team at the moment, and he's playing a huge part in their success at the moment. But Thomas's role, Thomas is what we regard in the game as a continuity player. You know, he's not going to be that player, that exciting player that's going to dribble past somebody and score a goal, or run down the flank, beat somebody, get a crossing. Thomas's role has always been hugely important to the managers that pick him, and this is why at international level and at club level he has always been in the teams, because of his value to the team. And sometimes that type of player, his value for what we see in the team and what we see as coaches, sometimes is not seen outside because of the particular role that they play. They are hugely important to the team, to the coach, to getting good performances and winning football matches. And we all appreciate, as would every manager that has played it.
Mohammed Kudus is a player that a lot of tacticals feel that he's a progressive midfielder. But again, at Ajax Amsterdam, we've seen that at the final third, he has a lot of goals and assists. And people feel that between himself and Victor Osimhen, these are two of the best African strikers in Europe right now. Do you think Mohammed Kudus should be playing in deep line areas with his progressive carries and his press resistance abilities, or he needs to be at the top?
As regards Mohammed Kudus, he's still a developing player. And what I think we are lucky with Kudus is that he is a player that can play in numerous positions. So for anybody, everybody here will have a different opinion on his best position. You also have to look at his club. His club are the team, the coach, the assistant coaches that have him every day in the training, every week or twice a week in games. So they would know Kudus better than anybody. And what Ajax have done, they've played him in a few positions. At this moment, he's playing on the right-hand side. For me, it's about just trying to get the right balance and trying to get the best out of players in whichever position. Because one thing that's general is that sometimes there'll be a player playing for the Black Stars or any international team that may be playing a slightly different position for their clubs.
I will take that. That's the responsibility of the Football Association. What I can announce here is that we haven't made any technical change to the team that represented us at the World Cup. George Boateng and Didi Dramani are still the assistant coaches. Richard Kingston remains the goalkeepers trainer. There have been some additions in other specific departments, but as regards Richard, Didi and George, there is no change. Thank you.